What do you think of the big black ball? What's up everybody, Coach Rob here, and it's a different video today. I'm actually out in the gym. And I haven't done one of these videos in a very, very long time, and I haven't done a video like this video is going to be ever. Like, ever. So today, I think this might end up being kind of a cool series because it happens a lot, not only in my life, but I'm sure it happens in your life too, where you don't always have a ton of time to really get shit done and really knock out an effective workout in a short amount of time. Well, I'm here to help. My training philosophy has always been, gosh, since 1994, 95, high intensity training. And my style, the way I like to look at it, or the way I like to describe it, is the highest amount of intensity that you can achieve in the least amount of time. High intensity in less time. And that means, yep, there will be pain, there will be suffering, because it's about pushing sets to the point of momentary muscular failure to achieve that full breakdown of muscle tissue, to trigger the growth mechanism to get the muscles to grow. It's about hypertrophy. That's what I give a shit about. Strength is good, strong is important, but hypertrophy, muscle growth is the goal, and that's what we're going to be talking about when I do videos like this. Slabs and slabs of lean, jacked muscle, right? Okay, so today, this particular video is going to be, I only had 15 minutes, and I had to do chest and triceps. And this actually happened. There was one of those particular days that was extremely busy, and not only that, all of my workout partners bailed on me. So I had to push through and get chest and triceps done, which that's the split that we were doing that week. On that particular day, chest and triceps was on the docket. So I had very, very little time. I had an appointment I had to get to, and I was finishing up some critical stuff for a client. So I had roughly 15 minutes to get this workout in. Not a problem for me, because I operate on what? High intensity training, which, again, my definition is the greatest amount of intensity in the least amount of time possible. So we're going to walk through that workout today, and workouts like this is something that you can do. And the cool thing about this is you're not taking any shortcuts. You're not decreasing your potential to put on muscle growth. Actually, by doing workouts like this, it's going to teach you and train you to really understand the theory of high intensity training, that super high intensity in that short amount of time, to break down muscle, so then all you have to worry about is getting the hell out of the gym and then focusing on the recovery element. Compensation, which is recovery, and then overcompensation, which is that new muscle growth. And if you're an old guy like me, then also these workouts are also going to be about the maintaining of the lean muscle mass that you have. So high intensity is still the best way to incorporate that. Lift super intensely in the least amount of time, get the hell out of the gym, and then give the body the raw materials it needs to grow, compensate, and then overcompensate. So let's do this. All right, so here we are. My first movement in my 15-minute chest and triceps workout is going to be the incline Smith machine press. So I'm going to do one feeder set. You know, nothing too heavy. I got a plate on each side, push to about 60%, maybe even less intensity, just to get into the flow of what I'm trying to do and get my mind right, get warmed up, and understand that I'm ready to do battle and go after that one all-out set to failure. And what we're going to do today is, on that set to failure, we're going to try a cluster set. And this is something that I really, really like to do, to really add some intensity to the movement, to push you further to that point of momentary failure. And it's a very, very cool thing to do if you don't have the luxury of a spotter that can help you if things kind of shit the bed on that last rep and you can't get it, and you don't want to be struggling to, you know, even on a Smith machine, sometimes it can be hard when you got a lot of weight on there to get that damn thing racked. So we're going to do a cluster set. The cluster set is going to be, I'm going to load this thing up with an adequate amount of weight, something that I think I can get with good form to that 8 to 10, 8 to 12 rep range. And then I'm going to push to the point where one more rep would be extremely difficult. And then I'm going to rack it. I'm going to count to 10 or maybe just take 10 breaths, either one. And then I'm going to unrack it and get a couple of more reps. You won't get many if you do this right, but those last couple of reps is really going to push the intensity and push you towards that level of momentary muscular failure to set that growth mechanism into motion. So we're going to get after that right now. So I'm going to lean back, lightweight set. Again, elbows are below my shoulders in the mid to low rib cage, bar coming down mid to low chest. I'm going to keep that chest lifted, shoulders peeled back into the bench. We get a nice little warm-up set here. Pretty easy weight, probably not even 60% of my max, but this is just for information purposes only today, guys. So I'm going to do that first set, and then I'm really going to get my shit together and get prepared for that one all-out set to failure. So I'm going to load some weight on the machine, and now it's time for the cluster set. So I will take a couple of minutes, get my head right. That's really important. Psychologically getting into the flow of what you're about to do on that machine, because it's so easy to allow your brain to make that connection with your body to say, hey, this is more than what we feel is safe or required for day-to-day activity. So we need to shut this shit down. So you get those neurotransmitters to the brain that say, danger, danger, too much pain, too much burn, rack this shit. You got to be able to, push past that. And that's how we reach that point of momentary muscular failure, set that growth mechanism in the motion. So I will literally take a minute, get my head right, and understand what I'm about to push through. Understand it's going to hurt, understand there's going to be pain, understand it's not going to be a pleasurable experience, but it's what's necessary to get the job done. The great thing about a high intensity program is it's only one damn set, all right? So it's not like I gotta go through this shit 3 or 4 or 5 times, which really wouldn't make any sense anyway. Just adding additional sets to failure is just going to create a deeper inroad into recovery and make it longer before you actually get the results that you're trying to achieve. Plus, you really can't maintain that level of intensity set after set after set that we're trying to achieve on this one all-out set after our warm-up. So I'm gonna throw some weight on the bar, and I'm gonna give you guys an idea of what that cluster set to failure is gonna look like. Cool? For being alone, and this being a reenactment an hour after destroying my triceps, that's not bad. The point is I got to the point of near failure. If I'd had my workout partners here, I'd have tried 1 or 2 more, because they could have gave me that little force rep that I might need to finish that 1 or 2 extra reps. And then I would do the cluster set as well. And even on the cluster set, I would have probably attempted 1 more rep than you saw me do there if I had my partners with me. But I promise you, at that slow, strict rep speed, with hard focus on form, mind on the muscle, I think I would have, could have potentially got myself into a little trouble and had to bail out and rack it anyway. Just to, not crush myself. So, but, even on this reenactment. I actually did this workout 2 days ago. That was some solid shit. And again, it's about intensity. For me to do another set, there would be no benefit to do that. I have torn down the muscle, put the growth mechanism into motion, and now it's time to move on to my second chest movement of the day, the second of only 2 that we're gonna be doing today for chest alone. So let's get that set up. All right, so the next chest movement I'm going to do, and the final chest movement for this roughly 15-minute workout, is we're going to do the seated cable fly. Now, you can do tons of variations of cable flies. You can do them in the high position, you can do them in the low position, you can do them single arm, or you can do them at chest height. Over the last couple of years, especially, the seated version of the cable fly has become my favorite. I notice when I do these 48 hours after that chest session, I feel every ounce of my pectoral region completely lit up, separated, striated, sore as hell, and I can tell I really did some damage, and I really like the way that feels. And even when you're doing the movement, I just like the control that you can get with the cables, and of course the negative resistance, or the more consistent negative resistance in the negative as you're bringing it back. I feel like sometimes with a dumbbell fly, even if I make it more of a compound fly, I feel like there are gaps in the range of motion, and I feel like a little bit is getting missed. I still do them just for variety, but my favorite these days is definitely the seated cable fly, and I'm gonna do that today. So again, I'm going to do a very moderate warm-up just to get into the flow of the form, into the groove of the movement itself, and then we're going to jack a few extra pins up in the plates there, and we're going to go after one super hard freaking set to failure. And the great thing, again, being alone today, is that if I'm on cables, if shit goes sideways, all I got to do is let the damn things go. You can easily bail out left, right, whatever, and then you can live to fight another day. So, second today, seated cable fly. Now, I do these in it's sort of a compound movement. It's a limited compound movement, meaning if you've ever done a barrel press or a barrel fly, it's sort of like a fly, but you're gonna get some flexion in the elbow, which you should anyway on any fly movement, but there's gonna be a little bit more flexion, and you decrease the flexion and extend the arm throughout the range of motion. I like to do this on cable flies. So you're gonna see a pretty pronounced bend in the elbow when I go into the stretch position, but then as I bring it together, think reaching away from your body and getting that super hard contraction on the pecs. That's what really makes this movement work. That's what really lights up the chest and just makes this a very complete and phenomenal movement, and one of my favorite all-time finishers for chest day. It's also an amazing superset with any chest pressing movement. So if you want to do a pre-exhaust superset, you do a set of these to failure, then immediately with no rest, go to something like a Smith machine incline press or an incline dumbbell press, or even any kind of a machine press, or even a decline push-up for that matter, and it will absolutely fucking wreck you. So just a little pro tip there, but I'm gonna knock out a quick warm-up of these compound cable seated flies. Then we're gonna get our shit together, and then we're gonna do one set to failure. All right, so I'm gonna get set. I'm gonna keep my elbows in flexion to a little greater level than I normally would on other fly movements. Gonna come back and get a ridiculous chest stretch on the pecs. Notice I'm keeping my elbows well bent. You never want to extend the arms fully. I can already feel my pecs. They feel like they're ripping off the damn bone. Now, as I pull them together, I'm going to reach for the wall in front of me. Boom. Slow. Chest out. Shoulders back. Reach. Release. Reach. Squeeze. And back. squeeze, and back. So we'll consider that the warm-up. Everything's good to go upstairs. We're gonna drop the pin a few spots, and we're gonna go after one really hard set, okay? All right, so now that chest is done, we're gonna move on to triceps exclusively. Now clearly, as we move on to the triceps dips, you're getting another hit to the chest. So it's technically the third exercise for the chest today, but it is the world heavyweight champion in tricep builders. You will rarely ever see me do a triceps workout without incorporating some dips, and you'll see me incorporating dips in many chest workouts. It's very interchangeable because they kick so much freaking ass. So I'm already well warmed up from the presses and the seated cable flies for chest, so I don't really need a feeder set for dips. I just need to strap on a little bit of weight, and it's going to suck. All right, you wanna go slow, you wanna go deep. No ego lifting. I gotta go minimum 90 degrees when I come down on these bad boys. I gotta keep that negative as slow as possible. If you keep that negative super freaking slow and accentuate that, you ain't gonna get many of these damn things, especially after hitting chest hard with those triceps already well exhausted. So one set's all you need. This is what it looks like. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna throw in a little cluster set here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and, spoiler alert, when I get to that, ain't gonna be more than 2 or 3. And I'd be happy with that. Told you, that's some tough shit. No need for another one. Growth stimulation. Check. Yeah, so now we got one more thing to do today. And when you pull all these things together, you're looking at roughly 15 minutes. Because when I did this son of a bitch for real a couple of days ago, it was definitely right around that 15-minute mark. So final movement today is going to be the good old triceps press downs. And we're gonna do that with a straight bar, or nearly straight, slight angle. And what's it gonna take? One set. And yeah, fucking cluster set. So yeah, that was failure. Even reenactment failure was failure. That hurt. So there it is. There's the workout I did technically last week when I only had roughly 15 minutes to get shit done. And I had a lot of fun making this video. I think I'm going to do more like it. It's good to be out in the gym talking about training, and even reenactment workout kind of kicked my ass a little bit. But I love this style of training. I know this training is absolutely optimal. It brings incredible results to those who have incorporated it into their programming, and I will never do anything else for as long as I'm able to draw breath and step foot into the gym and train. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again next week for some more content. Do me a huge favor. If you like any of this crap, hit that subscribe button. The little thumbs up guy really helps too. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Hopefully this will inspire you to change up your training a little bit, take it to another level of intensity, and I think you're going to see some pretty incredible results when you do that. So until next time, train hard, diet harder, but above all else, go out there and have a great freaking day. See you guys.